so I wanted to look it up. What is it? Open rebuke. Oh yeah, 27 and 5. 27 and 5. Just put it into my 27 and 5. Yete galet zelefa kate sawara fikar yishalal. Better is open rebuke than hidden love, or open rebuke. King James says open rebuke is better than secret love. Yete galet zelefa kate sawara fikar yishalal. So it's clear that that's what we have to do. We have to rebuke this openly. So this particular verse here, you understand, we say it's a poor version, but some of our brothers and sisters say we should actually just say it as it is. It's incorrect. Yet if you were to grade it, as a teacher would grade it, poor. But whether we say it's poor or whether we say it's incorrect, it's wrong. You understand, this verse that's found on the Imperial Ethiopian Family website, which is supposed to be Psalms 68, the Psalm of David, Mezmor Dawid 68:31, is clearly wrong. Now, if you look at both versions, like we began off teaching on this and pointing this out, if you look at both versions, and if you're not too strong in your Ethiopic or Amharic the Fidel line, it looks similar. Both versions look similar. Let me read the Ethiopian Family, the version that's on the Imperial Ethiopian Family's website. Their version reads, Ethiopia tabetzahe atzewiha chiba exyavihir. That may sound correct to some of y'all, but do you know Ge'ez? Do you know Ethiopic? The correct version of Mezmor Dawid, Psalm 68:31, which actually in the Ethiopic and the ancient Hebrew is actually Psalm 67:31. But the reasons for that we'll get into at another time, y'all willing. The correct version is Ethiopia tabetzahe or tabetzahe idewiha chebe exyavihir, or in common Amharic, bad Amharic as they speak now, hebe, where all the three H's are the same sound in modern times. So if we wonder, well, why are we in this poverty state? Why are we in this exile state? First of all, many of our people can take open rebuke, and we hope that the Imperial Family, that branch rather of the Imperial Family, because we as Rastafari are also the Imperial and Royal Family. You understand, we defend the banner, we lay down our lives for the banner, and we resurrect and rise for the banner of salvation of Getachin Jesus Christos. It's poor. It's poor. The Bible speaks against poverty. You understand? And we're not talking about spiritual poverty. You understand? Blessed are the poor in spirit, but we're speaking about the poverty in this world, as in Proverbs chapter 30. You understand? Chapter 30 verse 9, where it says, "Least I be poor and steal." You understand? Least I be poor doesn't give a justification for stealing. You understand? But the destruction of the poor is their poverty. We find that in Mezmor Dawid, Psalm 10. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. So even those of us who are humble and would like to believe the best about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and the royal family, there's a lot of correction that has to go on. There's a lot of rebuke and reform and improvement that has to go on. And unless we're able to open rebuke, we ain't going to see these things. And this generation will be like that generation of Israelites, even though they were delivered. You understand? They died in the wilderness because of their disbelief, their unwillingness to believe. This is why we present this to you visually, you understand, and even highlight, you understand, these particular areas of this incorrect Ethiopic version of a very important motif or motto or mantra or word sound or word faith or phrase or verse that Ethiopians and Ethiopian Hebrews in particular have sustained themselves for millennia. And this is Psalm 68 verse 31. You understand? And on the Imperial Ethiopian Family website, there's the incorrect version. And not just them went with this, what we saw it, and when we just first glanced at it, but something was bothering us. So we had to go to our Ge'ez Mezmor Dawid, and we looked it up, and we were shocked. You understand? First of all, we remembered it. Ethiopia tabetze idewiha chebe egziabi, and then we read Ethiopia. And some of you will say this is a minor error. No, it's not a minor error. You understand? You know, in the court of law in Babylon, in the world, and under Satanistic world system, such a minor error will get your case thrown out. Such an error means that your case will be thrown out. If you say we are the royal family, we are the faithful Ethiopians, we are the Orthodox Church, and you have this particular version, or perversion actually, of the mantra of your faith. You understand? Psalm 68:31, where it speaks specifically of Ethiopia and Ethiopia's relationship with God. And the only thing correct about the Imperial Ethiopian Family's version of it is Egziabihir. That's the only thing correct about it. The only thing correct about it is God. So God remains correct, but our relationship with Egziabihir, which is a Hebrew name, well, actually, it's the Ethiopic name for the Hebrew Yahweh, which explains more in detail who Egziabihir is. You understand? That's the whole other teaching, whole other lesson right there. But this is what we wanted to point out about Psalm 68:31 and the incorrect, poor Ethiopic version of it that's circulating out there on the internet. So get to learn the Ge'ez, get to learn the Royal Amharic, and get to update these things. You understand? That's why many of the people who go to the church, you know, a lot of rastas, so forth and so on, for years, they still don't know any Amharic. They still don't even know their fidels. And this is shameful. You know what I'm saying? This is shameful. How can we reach what we need to reach? You mean I is going to be born and come into this world, and we're just going to keep our mouth quiet, wait around, you understand, waste our lives, and then at the end of it say, well, woulda, coulda, shoulda, I knew I didn't want to say anything, I didn't want to rock the boat. Man, tumble the boat, turn the boat over if necessary. Let everyone get wet. Let everyone get baptized. You understand? It's only when we get baptized in truth, you understand, in spirit and in truth, will we be saved. So this needs to be updated. This needs to be corrected. The correct verse is Ethiopia ta betz idewiha chebe egziabihir. That's the correct version. That's the correct verse of Mezmor Dawid, Psalm 68, verse 31. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Yetagallat zalafa katasawara fikar yishala. So I wanted to look